The issue with tobacco smuggling is the cigarettes that are being sold, they're sold illegally without licenses. The people who are selling them aren't paying taxes on them. The issues for us as retailers is that cigarette sales accounts for somewhere between 30 to 40% of a retailer's business. And when somebody brings in illegal cigarettes into a location, you can see your sales fall dramatically in that local store, and as a result of that, it's not just your cigarette sales that fall, but it's also your newspapers, your sweets and drinks that go with that. And each of these retail stores are employing anything from 10 to 20 people, and if you suddenly lose what could be 10 or 20% of your business, you're going to end up losing 10 or 20% of your staff. What has happened within Irish legislation is that cigarettes can't be out on display. So while it's a legal product to sell, you're not allowed to have it on view to the general public. As a result of that, it gives the impression that it is an illicit type of product, and it makes it easier then for people to supply it with unbranded, or what are sometimes called illicit white products that are just imported from the likes of China, Russia and the Eastern European countries. And the government are not getting any of their tax revenue from that source. And if somebody's offering you a product at less than half price, you're inclined to say, yes, I'll buy that. And I think that's what's happening. And there's been evidence of people being able to buy cigarettes from pizza delivery men to from taxi men, all this sort of stuff. People going into pubs and they're selling cigarettes out of plastic bags going into a pub. They are the subversive type groups that are based up in based from the north. They're on both sides of the divide, and they're all at it. And these things tend to be honest, they not just feed smuggling of cigarettes, but you tend to find then that they're also operating in the space of protection rackets. They're selling pirate DVDs, and it expands from cigarettes, and this cash flow from that cigarettes then funds lots of other crime, and that's the big issue. If you think about a packet of cigarettes, approximately 80% of it is all tax, and if you suddenly find that you're not paying any tax at all, and that you can buy a product that we legitimately sell at €8.60 and 70, they're being able to buy that product for somewhere between €1 and €2. If our sales are down 10 to 20% because of illegal cigarettes, the reality is that has a direct link to 1 to 2 jobs in each store, and that's the reality. Whereas we have to have everything, we have to have a license, it has to be in a controlled, locked environment, it can't be on display, yet these people seem to utilise children under 16 selling the cigarettes, so that if they do get caught, they get caught with a relatively small amount of cigarettes, and they get a rap in the knuckles and said, don't do it again, and they don't even get a fine. And then it's Mr. Big in the background who's making all the profits on this industry, who gets away scot-free. Log on to stopsmuggling.ie. Let's all work together to stop smuggling.